A boy from Kunu, humble beginnings. Nelson Mandela was born in a small village. It was called Kunu. Kunu is in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. His birth date was July 18th, 1918. He was given the name Rolihlahla. It means troublemaker. Mandela grew up in a traditional Xhosa family. His father was a chief. He was raised with strong values. These values were respect, dignity, and community. Life was simple in Kunu. Mandela looked after the family's cattle. He played with other children in the village. He listened to stories told by the elders. These stories would shape his view of the world. Mandela's upbringing instilled in him a deep love for his people. He saw the injustices they faced. This fueled his desire for a fairer and more equal South Africa. The spark of education shaping a young mind. Mandela's education began at a local mission school. He was a bright and curious student. He excelled in his studies. He went on to attend a prestigious boarding school. It was called Clarkbury Boarding Institute. At Clarkbury, Mandela was exposed to Western ideas. He learned about history, literature, and politics. This broadened his horizons. It ignited a passion for knowledge. He became aware of the inequalities imposed by apartheid. Mandela continued his education at Healdtown, a Methodist college. There he developed his leadership skills. He participated in debates. He discovered the power of his voice. He became determined to use it for the betterment of his people. Mandela's educational journey laid the foundation for his future activism. It instilled in him a belief in the transformative power of education. He understood that education could liberate minds and empower communities. A lawyer's fight, early activism, and injustice. Mandela moved to Johannesburg in 1941. He was 23 years old. He wanted to escape an arranged marriage. He also sought better opportunities. Johannesburg was a bustling city. It was full of promise and hardship. Mandela found work as a security guard. He also began studying law. He enrolled at the University of the Witwatersrand. He was one of the few black students. He faced discrimination. He persevered. He earned his law degree in 1942. As a young lawyer, Mandela witnessed firsthand the brutal realities of apartheid. He saw how the laws were used to oppress black South Africans. He was outraged. He joined the African National Congress, the ANC. The year was 1944. Mandela's legal training and his experiences in Johannesburg fueled his commitment to fighting for justice. He vowed to challenge apartheid. He dedicated his life to achieving equality for all South Africans. Joining the struggle, the African National Congress. The African National Congress, or ANC, became Mandela's political home. The ANC was founded in 1912. Its goal was to increase the rights of black South Africans. Mandela quickly rose through the ranks. He became a leader in the organization. In 1949, the ANC adopted the Youth League's program of action. It advocated for non-violent resistance. It aimed to dismantle apartheid. Mandela played a key role in shaping this approach. Mandela traveled across South Africa. He mobilized communities, he organized protests, he spoke out against the injustices of apartheid. He became a symbol of hope. He was a powerful voice for the oppressed. The government responded with repression. Mandela and his comrades were harassed, they were arrested, they were banned from speaking publicly. But their determination never wavered. Section 5, the road to Rivonia, escalating resistance. As apartheid tightened its grip, the ANC debated its tactics. Some members, including Mandela, believed that non-violent resistance was not enough. They argued for a more militant approach. In 1961, Mandela became the leader of Umkhonto we Sizwe. This was the ANC's armed wing. It carried out acts of sabotage. They targeted government installations. They avoided civilian casualties. Mandela and his comrades went into hiding. They continued their struggle underground. They established a secret headquarters. It was located at Liliesleaf Farm in Rivonia, near Johannesburg. On August 5, 1962, Mandela was arrested. He was driving back to Johannesburg from Durban. He was disguised as a chauffeur. This marked a turning point in his life. It intensified the struggle against apartheid. Section 6. 27 years of courage, imprisonment, and global solidarity. Mandela and several other ANC leaders were put on trial in 1963. They were charged with sabotage and other crimes. The world watched as the Rivonia trial unfolded. Mandela used the trial as a platform. He delivered his famous speech from the dock. He spoke about the injustices of apartheid. He defended his actions. He proclaimed his commitment to equality. Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment in 1964. He was sent to Robben Island. It was a notorious prison. It was located off the coast of Cape Town. His spirit remained unbroken. Mandela's imprisonment transformed him into an international icon. People around the world rallied to his cause. They demanded his release. They imposed sanctions on South Africa. Section 7. A free man, walking into a new South Africa. After 27 years in prison, Nelson Mandela walked free. It was February 11th, 1990. The world celebrated. He emerged as a symbol of hope and forgiveness. Mandela's release marked the beginning of the end of apartheid. He immediately called for peace and reconciliation. He negotiated with the government. He helped to prevent a civil war. Mandela's courage and leadership during this tumultuous period were remarkable. He had every reason to be bitter. He chose forgiveness. He embraced his former oppressors. He showed the world the true meaning of reconciliation. Mandela's release was a victory for justice. It was a testament to the power of perseverance. It marked the dawn of a new era for South Africa. Section 8, Leading with Forgiveness, the first black president. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections. Nelson Mandela, at the age of 75, was elected president. He became the country's first black president. It was a historic moment. Mandela's presidency was marked by his commitment to forgiveness and unity. He established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It aimed to heal the wounds of the past, gave victims a voice. It offered amnesty to perpetrators who confessed their crimes. Mandela worked tirelessly to build a new South Africa. He promoted racial harmony. He addressed social and economic inequalities. He championed education and healthcare. He laid the foundation for a more just and equitable society. Mandela's leadership as president earned him global admiration and respect. He showed the world that it was possible to overcome even the deepest divisions. He demonstrated the power of forgiveness and reconciliation. Section 9, Building a Nation, Reconciliation and the Rainbow Nation. Mandela understood that building a new South Africa would require more than just political change. It needed a fundamental shift in attitudes and beliefs. He envisioned a rainbow nation. It celebrated diversity. It promoted unity. Mandela used sport as a powerful tool for nation building. He famously donned the Springboks rugby jersey. This was a symbol of white Afrikaner identity. He did this during the 1995 Rugby World Cup. South Africa won the tournament. This gesture united the nation. Mandela also focused on addressing the legacy of apartheid's economic inequalities. He implemented policies to promote black economic empowerment. He invested in education, healthcare and housing. He wanted to create a more just and equitable society for all South Africans. Mandela's efforts to build a rainbow nation were not without their challenges, but his unwavering belief in the power of unity and reconciliation inspired millions. He left behind a legacy of hope and a roadmap for a better future. Section 10, the world's icon, Mandela's global impact. Nelson Mandela's influence extended far beyond the borders of South Africa. He became a global icon. He was a symbol of peace, justice and equality. Mandela used his platform to advocate for human rights around the world. He spoke out against poverty, inequality and injustice. He called for an end to conflict and oppression. He inspired generations of activists and leaders. Mandela's message of peace and reconciliation resonated with people from all walks of life. He received numerous awards and accolades. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. He was recognized for his contributions to ending apartheid. Mandela's legacy continues to inspire people around the world. His life and work remind us that even in the face of adversity, it is possible to overcome hatred and division. He showed us the transformative power of forgiveness and reconciliation. Section 11, A Legacy of Hope, remembering Madiba. Nelson Mandela, affectionately known as Madiba, passed away on December 5, 2013. He was 95 years old. The world mourned the loss of a true giant. Mandela's legacy continues to live on. His story is a testament to the power of the human spirit. It shows the impact one person can have on the world. Mandela's message of peace, justice and equality remains as relevant today as it was during his lifetime. His life is an inspiration. It reminds us to fight for what we believe in. It teaches us to never give up on our dreams. Mandela's legacy is a call to action. It is a reminder that we all have a role to play in creating a more just and equitable world. Let us honor his memory by continuing his work. Let us strive to build a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Let us create a world that Madiba would be proud of.